You have spoken. You are correct. The last YouTube short was terrible, but I not only agree with you, I am going to remaster it for you because this is what you deserve out of your content. I will read to you a poem. For some context, I got this at 1 a.m., and it is perhaps one of the most interesting things I have gotten all week. It's time for me to read it to you. North Central Florida. This is the time of year the great crested flycatcher spends all day bashing his head into the tinted reflective windows. Then the cute pair of wrens go into hyper-production, building a nest on the mop in the garage. Sometimes they prefer a random basket for their home, and no matter how many times we remove it, they continue in their relentless effort to build a home for their batch of eggs, or for a batch of eggs. These animals are annoying and have never questioned their gender or participated in crooked elections. I have no idea what your bird is doing or why you cannot control your camera or your tongue. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I read the poem. It's over now. I will now analyze the poem because you deserve this. Okay? Yeah, see, look. I got my Garfield shirt on. You got me good. I'm some kind of incel. I tap in on a smartphone all day. You got me good. You got me. You got me super good, Florida man. Uh, at 1 a.m. no less. Or the early bird catches the worm. Ha ha ha. That was perhaps the funniest thing I could have said the entire time. But let me now. I will be as fair as I can. I will not insult the guy, but I will analyze the poem. What I assume is a poem or a short story, whatever the hell this is. So, the first sentence: this is the time of year the great crested flycatcher spends all day bashing his head into the tinted reflective windows. Uh, so, I looked up the bird. It's got like this mohawk thing going on. I assume that he is just he really hates young people on their phones. You know, you see these kids with like the shaved sides of their head, with their smartphones out, and some of these kids or the soy jacks going around with their Nintendo Switches. So you know what you wow, technology bad. We understand that bit. I wanted to see if that particular use of the bird had anything to do with it, and it turns out that it actually did. He really, really hates young people on their phones. Or at least he's trying to make a very smart comment saying, like, "Ooh, well, you're stupid for using your phones all day." Which I politely disagree. It's like boomers in television. It's like people in books. People have their thing that they go to and have fun with, and who are perhaps just want to read information or perhaps do a lot of things. But this man obviously disagrees with me. And then a cute pair of wrens go into hyper production, building a nest on the mop in the garage. Um, I don't know why you're paying attention to that, but okay. I would like to politely inform you hookup culture absolutely exists. I absolutely would also like to inform you that yes, there are babies being born, there are people who want families, and I know this because I am one of those really stupid people who have a phone. See, that's Elf. I like Elf. And I sometimes do the swiping. I had I went on a very nice date last weekend. It didn't end up working out, but it was still good. But you know, sometimes you find a partner and you go at it. All right. So, but it's weird that he brings up a mop in the garage. Now, is he trying to say that oh, it's really admirable that you're poor and you're having tons of kids? I don't understand why he's doing this specifically. I mean, you could my neighbors have a really nice house and they have kids. Uh, should they just settle for a hovel? I don't know. You tell me. But that's what this is telling me, or that's what I get the impression from. Sometimes they prefer a random basket for their home. No matter how many times we remove it, they continue their relentless effort to build a home for a batch of eggs. See, it's it's really weird when you keep getting people bullying you into having kids like this. And they're like, oh, well, they prefer a nice house for their kids, but they get told to move. And it is called North Central Florida, so maybe there was a hurricane that may have moved some of these people. I'm not a fucking scientist or economist or anything like that, clearly, but if I were to guess, there are times and there are reasons people move house. But this guy says that, oh no, there's some bad people that want to move it. But he says we, the royal we here. It's very fascinating. I don't know why, but he decided to use we. I don't know why. Is he just saying, is it, I, it's very unusual that he used we there. That's why I was just like, is this an AI? I don't know. But, the relentless effort to build a home for a batch of eggs, kind of on the nose with what what's being mentioned here. There's apparently a war on having kids. Not the war on kids, the war on having them. There's a declining birth rate, you see. And there's a reason for this. Maybe people are not financially ready. That's a big one. It's one of the bigger ones. There are some people that, and this is the more root cause that I have personally noticed, is that people don't really want to have kids because they, or rather, they don't want a partner because they can do everything by themselves with the assistance of technology. Just a thought. Although there are people who do want families for their own reasons, which might contribute to that declining birth rate. Okay? Now, the next sentence is where I honestly could not stop laughing. These animals are annoying, and they have never questioned their gender or participated in crooked elections. Kind of on the nose on what he's trying to say here. Yeah, no, you shouldn't care about elections. I mean, I don't care about elections personally. I still vote, I participate, but obviously that's the stupid thing to do, is to voice your opinion about your country. That's the stupid thing to do, according to this guy. That's annoying too. How dare you? Or rather, he's praising these people for not participating in elections, and he's the questioning gender bit. I'm like, oh boy. I'm just like, That's a whole can of worms, all right? I don't. That's a whole can of worms I don't give a shit about. But but do tell me what else I have to. What else is stupid? I would love to know. Because I I like to participate in local elections. Those are the elections that probably matter the most. But apparently, according to this, it's you know, they've they, they've never done something, therefore they're annoying. They're never going to an election. I mean, is he? I don't know why he thinks that's annoying, but okay. I mean, are they rigged? Yes. Okay, every election is rigged. I agree with that personally, but rigged in how? Like, I don't know. I personally, I kind of it's like okay, but you should still go vote. Okay, like, I mean, that's just voice your opinion at least. And you can also go to town hall meetings and voice your opinion too. Did you know that? I hope he does. But anyway, we're gonna finally come to the close. I have no idea what your bird is doing. This was. Oh, I'll get to that, but I have no idea what your bird is doing or why you cannot control your camera or your tongue. This guy must be fun. Uh, the this was posted under a video of my cat's new friend. It was a red bird. I thought it was cute. I thought it was funny in a certain sense, so I uploaded it to YouTube and I wanted to share it with people. But for some reason, since everything is political, apparently, uh, it this means that I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that question my gender and participate in crooked elections. You see, uh, or something like that. I don't know, but he was just like, nah. And then he just lays in that nice turd of a sentence, and I'm just like, bravo, sir. You know, all because my camera wouldn't focus on the bird. I'm like, and I'm just sat here like, oh, is that the name of the bird? And then I look at my notifications, and then I see this long sentence, this long paragraph, and I'm like, oh, I'm in for a treat, aren't I? And in a way, I was right. But the I'm not offended. I'm just like I'm just puzzled. Like, why did you? So there are some people out there that are like human NPCs. I have this theory, and for all I know, I could be one of them. But uh, they just randomly want to tell you what they think of of you in this video you posted, and I'm like, oh look, a bird, and it's a pretty cool bird. Uh, let's put it on YouTube, and my audience really likes it when there is a bird on YouTube or cute animals like my kitty. But this man was like just so I assumed really angry, really bitter and frustrated that I have a bird on my porch and I shared it on YouTube and he's like, "How dare you?" or "Fuck you. You don't deserve to focus in on this bird." And you know, he's like, "Yes." And then he's just like, what you should and he's trying to say low key, go have kids, you stupid asshole. Go have children. I want to see baby posting, which is totally not creepy to, make known at all. But, you know, I just want to say I appreciate you. I love all my fans, especially this guy who is totally not my fan, but he randomly saw it and took it upon himself to say, for some make a very unusual subtext to say how what the hell are you doing? Go have children. And hey, uh, all right, cool, okay, Boomer. That was a very nice poem you wrote for me. Um, I just would like to share a piece of advice. People who bully people into having kids usually are not the best advertisement to have children. Just a thought here. I've seen the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, complaining about the birth rate, and they're a very conservative British podcast. They're like, "Oh, how dare you! That you could have improved your life by having kids." Well, I don't think they say how dare you. They're like, "Oh, this is really sad," and I say to that, I'm right away. They're talking about somebody who really elected to not have kids, and usually I'm no psychologist either here. Well, I have a degree in health psychology. It's a minor, but speaking as someone who has seen this before, where there are people who have had kids and felt bullied into it and did not want to have kids to begin with, usually the quality of the life of the child or the childhood of said child is not that great. It's not. So I don't know why you want people like that having kids. It doesn't really bode well for the future per se. If it Personally, I'm in the camp of I'd rather have less people running around, but they're all happy. They have a good education, not brainwashing. Don't worry, Florida man. Like actually learning their maths, their sciences, their reading, all that good stuff, and then maybe teaching some college level stuff at high school, you know, physics, having them become engineers and shit like that. Having less kids, however, getting a better education and a better understanding of the world is a good thing. What some people are advocating for is that we just need more people. Okay, why? And they don't usually have a very good answer for this. But that's my piece on the subject. Uh, I've analyzed the poem by Florida Man, written at 1 a.m. I've done it really good justice, I hope, this time around. If you don't like the video, then oh well, I'm going to keep it up anyway. But it's, and if you have kids, great. If you have kids, I want to say, just as a full disclaimer, if you have kids and you're happy and your kids are getting a good life, no problem with that. I don't even have a problem with people having kids, but I do have the people. I do have a problem with people who are literally banging a drum and bullying people into having kids. That I have a problem with. I also have a problem with people who are bullying people into vasectomies and, yes, even bullying people into questioning their gender, Florida man. Yeah, I don't like that woke stuff either. But, just, just calm down a little bit. You're commenting this culture war crap under a video about literally a bird. So, calm down. I want you to calm down. I want you to at least have a good day. I hope you got a good night's sleep. I hope you have a very hot wife and about 20 kids. And you're doing amazing. And you're doing God's work. And you know, just, you're doing whatever it is you do in North Central Florida. For the rest of you, I hope you also have a good day doing whatever it is you do.